Hey everyone, start the stream just as the dog started. Expected. That is main theme, battle theme number one, I think, or maybe number two. I forgot. From Octopath Traveler. How's it going? How you doing? I should make a text here. I guess. Give me a second. Yo. Oh wait, what? Why do I see you there? But no. Okay, there you go. I'm not back. I'm. This is no runs. You can say I'm sort of. I don't know. Hang on. Nah, this is fine. I mean, okay, whatever. Old. Let's call it old. Why not? I see. Hello. Okay, let's do that. So watching some old N64 and early GZ rarities. Yeah, it works. And then I put it here, and then there, and then I move it here. I love how I didn't prepare any of these. Isn't that great? That's why you're here. This font, I don't like this font. I like my weird fonts that nobody understand. Like Lucida handwriting. Yeah. I like these. These are weird like me. Okay, let me try it again. Like this maybe? Professional streamers. Yes. Yes indeed. No, that's not good. Let's put it like this and let's put it like smaller. This size is huge. And that's too small. Okay, that's kind of better. Now the chat is gonna be on the way. So now I need to adjust the chat. So what is this? I'm gonna tell you what is this in a second. I'll do it. Although you already know what this is. Let's put this here. And change this to 8. One more. Don't worry, I'm just waiting for the people to come to the stream. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. We're gonna get more messages eventually. Alright, so I've done a little bit of this already in the past, where I cover some stuff that I found on YouTube and others. But now I'm gonna cover everything on just one video. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the point of this. Just do commentary over it, some insights, some curiosities maybe and stuff. We're also gonna look up some pictures too from also the era. I'm probably gonna oscillate between videos and pictures, so I hope the sound it's gonna be balanced. I think I did most of that. So we can start. We're gonna start from earlier to later. So this right here, let's see. Hang on. This right here, okay, it's right there. Good. It says N64, apparently from 1905 2000. I don't know if that's the like the date of the actual of the video or of the footage. You know, like it's different because one is from YouTube. I mean, no, it has to be of the footage because YouTube didn't exist in 2000, right? Right? I don't know. But apparently 2000, and this is Pious cutscene. Let's start with that. So first of all, this is a kind of a demo thingy, right? You can see it right here. It says play game cinematic 1, cinematic 2. And here you can see who is probably Paul, I would say, with something like a two-edged sword and a torch, I guess. 2004? Yeah, that makes sense. You can know when it's YouTube if you look up for Me at the Zoo, the first YouTube video, and that will tell you exactly when YouTube started. So cinematic 1, and here you can choose the different ancients, apparently. Act 3, The Eternal Darkness. On Chaturga. So no music yet. And some questionable sound effects, but of course, it's an early build of N64. And then we see Pius transform on nice 64 bits. And that's it. So hang on. So here's some interesting stuff. So you can kind of see a little bit. The quality doesn't allow for too much, but you can see a little bit of the ancient too. Like there, you can see Celta. So this is an artwork that I think this is nowhere. Like I've never seen this artwork. And then there's that too. That one you can barely see anything. Act 3. So apparently that's from 2000 on May 19th, more or less. Vice has much bigger role originally as a playable character, I mean, I think that's just a demo, honestly. It will probably be around the same as today. That's my opinion, because what I heard from the devs is that the story didn't change as much overall. Some details change, and of course some of the arc of the desert changed a lot because of reasons. So now we're gonna go and Nintendo 64 E3 of '99 demo. So who is there's this knight character. And this very awful music too. No, but this music is actually, it sounds bad because of the quality. But this is, I think it's Black Rose, isn't it? The Max music. And you see, the camera had this thing, it was more Resident Evil-ish. You know, like, got instant snap from one camera to another, instead of following the character more. Now, of course, with 3D environments, but, you know, kind of the same concept of rapid change from one camera to another. Because remember, like this had said a lot of times, Resident Evil 2 was like a big inspiration from this game, and so this is the stair of Anthony, probably. And yeah, there's a reflection of the TV, so that kind of sucks, but. And that seems to be a zombie. Yeah, there you go. It's fighting a zombie. A Zelda zombie, maybe? This fucking sounds. Okay, it says spring 2000 though. Silicon Knight. So this is actually 2000 probably. And that's it. So that footage. Like medieval actual movement. Yeah. So okay, so about that. So first of all, and this is gonna come again later on other footage. Who is this character? Because at first I was thinking, okay, this might be Joseph, but no, because Joseph is a crusader. This is more as a knight. You know, it's like, and also like Joseph is supposed to be on the desert, and it has slightly like different outfit than this. So then I was thinking, okay, so then this is this Anthony? But the thing is, Anthony has its own thing on the old 64 thingy. So I actually don't know who this is. This could have been an early Anthony or an early Joseph, because both Joseph and Anthony had different outfits than this. And again, we're gonna come to this later. There's better pictures of this, don't worry. And actually, let's take a look at some pictures, maybe. Where do I have this? Gallery. ED images. I think it's here. It must be this. Yeah. Okay. Not out of questions, they put a character in a different location. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they actually did that with Joseph. There is some footage of even early GameCube where they put Joseph on Anthony's chapter. So that's normal. But the weird thing is that even on the N64 era, there is a Joseph and there is an Anthony that are completely not like this knight character. So I'm thinking, is this a discarded character? Is this like a base character that they just made to show something anywhere, or who is this knight? Because it doesn't seem to be either none of those, or is like a very early version of those. So this is N64 Pious on the runes. How do I move this? I'm pretty sure I can move this somehow. Hang on. There you go. So these are photos that I basically encounter on internet, different obscure pages. So quality is not great. This is Pious 2 from. You see, this room didn't change that much. Manturk and settle down on the same spot, and you can see like some sort of interaction button on the corner. This, it's probably the tutorial, the body targeting system, battle system tutorial. So I assume this room was shaped in a different way. There was a lot of runes too. Those are a lot of runes that are not present in the game. There's some pie. I guess isn't that like, those look a lot like some Greek letters. Actually, there's like lambda pi, an inverted pi, an omega, I guess, or phi, stuff like that, which makes sense, I guess. Although this was Roman, but whatever. Just put some runes. Kappa, exactly. Yeah, there's like an inverted gamma. And then this. So this, I have the feeling that this is the portal room. So that in the center might be the portal, and then on the right side of the room that might be the button for the portal. You know, the button that today is like a big circle. Maybe it was more like a small button. And there's kind of an extra door on this room if it's that. So layout slightly different. But this room is completely different if it is that room. Kind of interesting. And then this. So this is what we watch in the video with better quality here. The artifacts didn't look that much different, although they're very small on the picture, so maybe they are more different. But again, it could be just an early version, easily. You see, the Pi's model is pretty good for N64. This is like actually very good graphics, I think. And then there you go. Yeah, they're a little bit different. And there you go. Yeah, we don't quite have a close-up of the Uyoth one, but we can see some of the difference between, you know, Chattur'gha and Zelda, at least. Yeah, and then we go, so this is ordered. This is like Elia. So, let's see. Okay, let's go for another video. Hang on. This is on top. Move these. Okay. 1 second.
Yeah. La Pandora.
Hello.
El Jesús, un compañero de la Jani.
Hello. I don't know what's going on here. All right. So they're like showing the house to someone. All right, let's go. Get N64 or get out.
Into the darkness, into eternal darkness for Nintendo 64. An ancient cathedral hides unspeakable evil. A mystery waits to be unraveled. Lives have been lost. More will be taken. Will the next be yours? Eternal darkness for your Nintendo 64. Welcome to your darkest world.
Alright, there's so much to unpack here. There's like a lot to unpack here. So this has a lot of early stuff. I don't really know what's the date of this trailer, but basically this trailer, it's like pretty much, you know, they were thinking of like launch this at this point probably, because it looks fairly finished. There is some unpolished stuff here and there maybe, but it's a functional trailer, you know. So we kind of saw this already. So that's the Zelda artifact on Pius. And then there is a tiny picture here of this room that probably was the, at least on one of the pictures, it was the tutorial with the statue, the combat tutorial. Although here you're kind of fighting a Mantrok zombie probably with Pius. This room is completely discarded, or completely rearranged or whatever. It's not on the GameCube game as other rooms. This room is on the GameCube game though. This is a Paul room. Might be slightly different, but it seems to be the. For me, it looks like the room where Paul goes after he's, you know, like after the murder thing. Yeah, exactly. Then there is Anthony here. So you see Anthony with the scroll. It's not a knight. It's fucking Anthony.
Into eternal darkness.
And then this early menu, maybe? With the planet's alignment and all that.
Nintendo 64.
There is a rune here, kinda. I can barely see it.
In ancient
So this is the entrance of the cathedral. You can see it's much, much smaller. Like the ceiling is very close to the floor. So a lot of those things change. They get bigger spaces. And it makes sense, you know, with GameCube, you can probably get more stuff. But the details on the textures and all that are like very good. Again, for N64, this is great.
Unspeakable evil.
And then this, so either a Mantork zombie that have the power of grabbing you from the back at some point, or a Cellular zombie.
A mystery waits to be unraveled.
Then it's the bell tower right here. And also, look at this. Look at this. Look at the corner. It says ring bell. And we know about this today. There used to be a lot of B prompts. In this case, I guess. Yeah, B. So B is the green one on N64. And that's why that is green. It's still a B prompt. Because the green one is A on GameCube. There used to be a lot of specific B prompts. And they're actually on the memory. We have them documented. There is a lot of them. It's like 70 of them or so. I don't remember. It's a lot. But they actually change a lot of that for just general interaction into a text, you know, to explain what the interaction is. You're about to Dragons, how you doing? Starfighter. And then this is super cool. This is the Bone Thief Celotas. So you see, Bone Thieves are very early. And it drops from the ceiling. Or something. And this might be the room of where he finds evidence.
Lost. More will be taken. Will the next?
And then there's this thing.
Be yours?
So yeah, this is the only footage, the only image. The only footage. Cause I think there's an image too of Chaturga Black Guardian, and maybe the only Black Guardian shown. So either the only one made at the time, or we just don't have images of the others.
Eternal dark.
And it looks pretty good. And really similar to, you know, the GameCube one, actually. We also have the stained glass in the back, which looks cool as fuck too.
Will the next?
This is the binding hole.
Eternal.
And this is cool. So first of all, Paul seemed to have a rifle or some sort of antique weapon. I don't know if this is just because they wanted to give a weapon to Paul, or maybe it was planned, maybe not.
Darkness for your
and here's something. So the targeting system seems to be some circles on body parts. Like you see some small circles here on the right arm, and then it goes to the body. There you go. Instead of highlighting the full body part, which is what they did later on GameCube, which I think is better. But this is like an early targeting system.
Welcome to your darkest world.
Pretty cool stuff. I don't know why you're talking about the dragons. I'm doing fine. Alright. So. Oh, it starts from the beginning. Really? I'm pretty sure I can change that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. So we saw that. We're here. Okay. So this is, I think, maybe the only image we have from Elia. Or from Anchor region. You can tell by the wall, how the wall looks here in the back. And yeah, it's just a Chaturga zombie. We're gonna get more of them later. And then here it is. So this is what I'm talking about. Anthony has his own model here, which is not the knight. And then later we're gonna see a Joseph model. And so this makes me really, really like confused. And this is probably magic in the left. And so you can see more of these models of N64 Chaturga zombies. They actually have more skeleton to them, kinda. I don't quite know which room this is. But yeah, something in the basement. You prefer this over the CG? I like both. I probably prefer CG, but I wouldn't mind. Like I would love to play the N64 version. I really hope Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo will ever do it. So let's say I really hope someone leak it one day. Let's say it like that. Look at the stats. So either everyone has the same stats, like bad stats. Yeah, these are probably like placeholder stats because everyone is having like 75. Like look at this. Magic 75, Sanity 75, Health 75. That's like so bad. The worst stats. So here, settle the zombie. So you see this passage. It's the same passage. And it still had a settle the zombie. Now it has 3. Grabbing from the back. And you will break free with B. So probably you will need to do this to match the button instead of moving the stick in the past. And that's probably a Scramasax in Anthony's hand. And then the fountain looks way cooler. Yeah, this looks better. Like I wouldn't mind this fountain on the final version. So also the basement. I think it's rotated, kinda. Maybe. With the urn, you see not a lot of things change. And this very bad quality photo. And then we're gonna go for the next one. So, okay. That's gonna be Joseph. Okay, so this is Paul and Anthony play.
By the love of God! Guards! Help! Come quickly!
There's the gun again. See, comeback used to be a lot slower. Sims. That is something I really like. I really like that they changed that. So let's unpack that a little bit. So you see, the story is about the same. Even the line is the same. You see the martyr. we see one frame of no character here, which is something that still happens on the final version. Not on this cutscene, but on other cutscenes. There's some small places where stuff like this happens. And this is interesting. So subtitles like this. Luther.
Love of God. God, help! Come quickly!
And I think the recording of the voice is the exact same. It's just that the final version sounds better probably. Because it's like not compressed or anything. Also the video quality. But it seems that he goes for the guards instead of the guards just arriving immediately. And then here, this is interesting. So it's similar to the flintlock pistol, it seems. And it blows the head up. Which is something that flintlock pistol doesn't do. Only like shotguns and stuff like that do. And also very Resident Evil, of course. And then it reloads. What does the... Can't really read that. Reload something. I can't read the second one. But it says reload something. Bullet, maybe? Reload bullet, probably. And then you open this thing. And there's a rune. Seems to be the main cathedral part. And then fighting with punches with this. Take rune. You see, quite slower combat, but not that slow. Like it's still fine. And this, so there's something very small here, which I think hints of tank controls early, maybe. Look at how he moves back here. Anthony moves back a little bit, so either a dodge prompt early or tank controls very early, because Dennis had told that they switch into 3D controls. Musket, it could be musket, yeah, that makes sense. With a better camera, 3D controls is much better. But with these very Resident Evil light cameras, there is a possibility that early on they tried for tank controls. Just look at how Anthony moves on this sequence. After the attack. I actually don't know if he moves back like a moonwalk, or not a moonwalk, like walking back, or he turns around. I think he turns around for like a tiny bit, but the quality is just not good enough. I think he turns around. Okay, so this might be 3 controls anyways then. Is that tier? What? No, it's Antorbuck. This is Antorbuck. Makes sense. Yeah, tier wouldn't make any sense. Now this, as cool as that looks, I'm really like grateful they got rid of that. That is a very cool thing, but when you are a game developer, you have to make these decisions, because you make something really cool that it looks very nice, but then you play over and over, and every time you open the pause menu is this slow scroll, then you start to get annoying of it. So I'm glad that they just changed that and just, put the sound of the book opening for a more dynamic, faster menu. Like imagine every time you do menu this, and I'm not talking from a speedrun perspective. That's awful too. Just from a casual perspective, because most people don't use a lot of shortcuts for spell. So most casual players open the menu a lot to do spells. Imagine that for this. With this. Here we can see the actual stats of Anthony. Which is like 100, 100, 100. More like it. See, Magormore, the menu looks pretty similar. And then Scramazak's Antorbock is right here, the codex, which is interesting because we can do that with a glitch today. And then down, that might be the Circle of Power, maybe? It could be, although it's not a circle. It's more like a, I don't know, like a plate or something. The other thing might be the message or a scroll, and the other is the blue urn. And we see here all the buttons are okay, except for one, because we have check, use, equip, something, mix, and mode. So everything from the beginning, either intended or just a placeholder. And then there is drop. So you could drop items, apparently. Like maybe items that are not useful anymore will have highlighted drop. You know, kind of, I guess on Resident Evil you can discard keys that are not useful anymore, stuff like that. It's kind of cool. But of course, it's better to just automatically drop the stuff that you don't need anymore. Much better, isn't it? They figured that out later. Okay. You get a prompt to discard keys that have no more use in re. But more generally, you can discard ammo or healing. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, that it's a feature that makes sense if you have limited inventory, which maybe was an idea for early Eternal Darkness, but no idea. So this, a Mantork zombie, probably from the Ramdao cutscene. And then this is interesting. This is Joseph with the Ramdao. Enchanted Ramdao. So you see, this guy doesn't quite look like the knight we were talking. And he's actually on his own place on the desert theme part. And this room hasn't changed that much. Apparently it had a zombie at some point. And you see you can put the tome on the same spot. And then there's this knight. So look at this. It doesn't look anything like it. It's a completely different outfit. Crusader, and this is more like, I don't know. It's a different kind of. This is a knight, like full plate. You know, this is not full plate. You see? Who is this guy? Humt. My only guess is maybe an early idea for Anthony. And maybe they change it because they already have kind of a quote-unquote knight with the Crusader. Not exactly a knight, but you know what I mean. Who is this lad? Yeah, a lot of these environments look like Anthony. And then we got Paul casting a 7 spell. Again, don't know if intended or not. Maybe just a test. Because Peter was intended. There we have some Peter images. And here's something interesting. Isn't that like the crossbow? It almost looks like the crossbow. Or it could be just a musket. It's hard to tell. So, probably a second floor of the old tower. And then there's this. So, you see, a lot of stuff were mixed. on these two characters, because we see Paul here on this this room. Maybe Paul was intended to be a little bit later on history, where there was electricity or something. I don't know, or maybe they just put him here. We don't know. And this is interesting. This is Roberto. This is I think the only fucking image of early Roberto we have, and there's no footage of it. Probably one of the first rooms, one of the first corridors. We can see Roberto with the scythe fighting a zombie. Oh, there you go. Here's another Roberto. Never mind. But these are like the only things we have. Alright, let's see. One more N64. Oh, here it is. It's the night. Look at that. Eternal Darkness. Yeah, this doesn't have audio. So this is the gameplay from the images we saw. Look at that. Opening and giving something. Maybe the tome? Is that the tome dimension? Look, Zelda zombies burning. And then a zombie having the two-edged sword. Also lighting this torch. Look at that. To have more light. That's kind of an interesting feature. That could have been on the final game. Just to light rooms and then don't use the torch, you know? Yeah, this almost feels like could have been an early tome dimension. And then this, instead of the hand opening, is this weird skeleton. Either that or this is just another book. But yeah, some places here don't quite look like the cathedral. It's similar. Like this part looks like the slab part that is on Paul, where the horror is on the basement. And on this room is probably where you're gonna get this sword. So this probably happened before this part where you already have the sword. Because the sword is on the zombie. Apparently you have to kill it to get it. And then you are gonna find the torch here in the middle. Look at that. So here's my guess. Here's my guess about this friendly skeleton. That's probably don't click on that. Don't do it. Just in case. So my guess is that this was maybe the first character. The very first character that they made. And they just made like a quote-unquote generic character or something. They put it in a place just to test stuff, more or less. And maybe to sell the concept of Eternal Darkness or something. Something like that. Or to make it like a proof of concept of the general engine or something. And then later they discard it because, you know, they have this more knight-each character for Joseph, and they prefer this kind of like, not exactly a warrior, but like a messenger. for Anthony, you know. And then it made sense to put like a Franciscan monk on the same region too later. That is my uneducated guess. And here is so here's what I was talking about. Peter was planned too. Of course, every character was planned on N64. The game was ready. So we see Peter here with a similar outfit, slightly different, but quite similar. He had suspenders. And what is that in his hand? The rifle, maybe? Cathedral, much, much smaller, as you can see. And you see this is the coal room. And then the wine room with some zombies. And then this. So this is the fucking worm on Enga. And this is Edward. And you see this room is not that different. There's a fucking worm and there's this giant statue of the weird creature that I always like to think that is kind of a Mandark horror. That's my interpretation of that creature. Kind of looks like a horror, but with tentacles and stuff. And then there's some Alex stuff. So the mansion looks quite different. The paper on the wall, you know, there's a lot of different stuff. Picture of maybe Edward. The fireplace. Dining room, it's quite different. It looks more dark, like more tenebrous, I guess. More scary a little bit. And this, I guess this is the back part of the library, actually. With the secret entrance probably on the left. Because that doesn't quite look like a natural door. So that's probably the secret entrance. With the clock and all that. So slightly different, but quite similar, regardless. And then this, I found this too. The safe. Also in the basement. And there's something very interesting here. Alex, they seem to couldn't decide if they wanted Alex with a red top or a black top. And that, I only think that because of this picture. Because, you know, for a while, I'd only seen these ones with red top. And then you also see Alex red top on early GameCube builds. So I was thinking, okay, it was red top all the way, and then they changed it later in GameCube. But then you have this one, which is black top on N64. So either that or the image is like changed somehow, but it seems like too much to be completely black. And then there's this. This is actually on the memory of the game. Toast got this. It's some early N64 stuff. And some fonts. You can see the C buttons of N64. The D-pad. The green B and stuff like that. And Gumby, of course. The programmer. And then this is for GameCube. Also in the memory. And also something interesting, there is C buttons. And yeah, they said that they planned C buttons at some point for shortcuts. But they discarded later. because there was like too much space use on the screen, stuff like that. And then there's this. So this is okay. We're getting into CG territory or not? Oh no, we still have some. Yeah, because no, never mind. This is N64. Yeah. This is N64. So I get to look at the screen. Looks super similar. Almost the same. Look at that. This is from E3. And a CRT, of course. And then there's this. Give me a second. 1 second. Just give you some time to read this. This right here is a patent. It's the patent that Silicon Knights did for sanity effects. Yo, Jonas, how you doing? These are old videos and old photos of Eternal Darkness, early versions, pretty much. So this is a patent for sanity effect, and something interesting that you can see here is the image they use. They use kind of a, this is like an Ocarina of Time part from like the forest temple, and they put this exactly. Yeah, they put this to show that the sanity meter will show on the GUI. So they needed an example to show how that would look. So they put this to convince Nintendo or something, I guess. And then there's some schematics here. And then there's Alex. So this is okay. This is we're getting to, yeah. So we're gonna get to GameCube there. So to enter there, let's see some GameCube stuff. I don't know. This is more produced. This is 2001 trailer. And there's still a lot of early stuff here. Look at that. This has so much to unpack. Yeah, exactly. How you doing, sir? There is so many things here. All right, let's go again. So that is the same. That's just the cinematic of the beginning. Pre-rendered. Seem to be the same. So we already see some glitches here. Look at this Alex movement here. Look at how she moves here. Just pay attention. She's like targeting like this. You see that fucking movement? Which is something we can do with FreeCast today. She's breaking her back. So we see some glitches on this trailer. It's probably just early animations. Also, Red Top Alex. This image is slightly different. Right here, that in the family. And yeah, like Sir said, this running animation. It doesn't look bad. It's interesting. It's an interesting running animation, but it's more like this. than this. You see? There is like a tiny difference on this animation, but not as much. And here we see something that we actually see on the demo of the game, which is great advertising. Yeah. Is to advertise the sanity effects. So there's two things here first. So first of all, this room is a lot like less wide. Like it's kind of short on this axis. And then Pius is having some insane attack cancels here. Look at how fast he attacks. You see that fucking delay between those two head attacks? It's insane. Bam bam. It's so fast. You can kind of do that on the demo. The attack cancels have less delay. And then there's Joseph's, who just kills everyone with one swing. One fucking on-target attack. And this is interesting. So Ellie has a similar running animation to Alex. Also like more loose on the arms. And there's this guy here, which is the shaman or whatever. The one that repairs your weapon. He's here, just walking around. Just like nothing. And then Michael. He's a soldier. And he's fighting here. So this is normal. This is a normal room. The second room of Michael, probably. Attack and summon a trapper. Barely attack though. Did he actually attack? No, look at that. It didn't even attack. Maybe it didn't have the animation yet. Or maybe it's summoned when it got attack. I don't know. And here there's some more glitches, I think. Look. So first of all, heads seem to bounce. Look at this head. It's bouncing. And then it's stuck there. It got stuck on air. And the trapper just actually explodes. Like it's not like a, you know, like the trapper explosion that we have today that is more like symbolic. No, this is like an actual explosion of the trapper. Bam. And then this might have been a trapper dimension, is my guess. Maybe, because it's kind of a weird place. It's kind of like floating or something. And also, this almost was, or maybe it was, a burrow cancel, an undead glitch. Look at this. It gets here, and the other one attacks. And this bone tips keeps doing the burrow here. So it almost looks like they put the frame perfect glitch in the trailer. Imagine. Just imagine. Yeah. There's just so much of that. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna put Sacrament. We gotta do it. Okay. So, Red Top Alex Room looks the same. Here's more. So the model, I think Alex's model also changed a little bit. The shotgun. I almost feel like she's taller later. Like she's shorter here or something. Or maybe the rooms are bigger, I don't know. But she kind of looks smaller. Or maybe just the camera, I don't know. Yeah, stained glass. Here, this is from the E3 demo, most likely. You know, there's an E3 demo that we are actually going to see later. And it has some of this stuff, which is just kind of a demo of the mansion where you just are put in the mansion and you just fight some stuff. And then here, this is from the memory of the game. It's I mean it's on the files basically. Did you ever notice how much taller Ghost Max is than Alex? Oh no, I never. I think I never paid that much attention. Yeah, I guess maybe Alex is not that tall. We just don't get a whole lot of reference. Apart from Pius, but I don't know how tall Centurions were, you know? We tend to think of, you know, old heroes as massive guys, but maybe they weren't that tall. So this is on the files of the game. It's kind of an image with all the different what's it's called, like thumbnails for cutscenes. And you can see some old ones, some unused ones. So the unused ones are here. So you can see Joseph stuff. There's Joseph. And it almost looks like someone's talking to Joseph. Who could that be? Like a spirit of someone is talking to Joseph. Sure representation, exactly. And then there's this Roberto one. So even on GameCube, Roberto had a slightly different face. Apparently. And then there's probably, before the Roberto one, we have Joseph talking to Roberto as a spirit. And then more Joseph with the mace. Apparently he was able to dual wield a mace and an axe, something like that. So that later changed into toolbar dual wield for Kareem. And he had the Ramdao. Ramdao too. You see the beginning of Kareem, just same stuff. And there he is with the mace. Crossbow? Look at that. Instead of chakrams. Because those are, you know, crossbow bolts. So maybe he was meant to have a crossbow. Or a bow and arrow, I don't know. Now those are bolts. You can't shoot bolts with a bow. Alright, let's go for another video. This next one is E3 trailer. I don't know who is talking here.
Is it the light?
We got Kareem here already, though.
The emptiness? The shadows? Your fear?
More polished trailer.
This June, the terror will consume you.
What is this song, though?
Eyes will deceive you, and nothing will be what it seems. A story centuries in the making. A thriller that blurs the line between reality and illusion. Eternal darkness.
So yeah, this is much later. Close to the launch, probably. This madness begins, you know? And yeah, this might have been an unreleased track
A thriller.
from the composer, from anything. And but everything looks pretty polished here. Like pretty final. There's mostly cutscenes. There's not a lot of gameplay. There's Kareem gameplay. I think there was a recovery. Was there a recovery? Like an Oyath recovery? Which is extra funny, if they put it.
This June, the terror will consume you. Your eyes
Will deceive
you. And nothing will...
Here, look. So that is Narcat. The only thing you can do with Narcat here is recovery, and that's Oyath. It's an Oyath recovery. They put an Oyath recovery on the trailer.
Nothing will be what it's...
Which is the useless spell. He also... Is it me, or he has like no HP at all?
Will be what it's...
Like 1 HP. Jeez. Okay, hang on. Let me see how many photos I have. Okay, I can see a couple. I can see a couple ones here. No, actually, let me see one more video and then we'll show more pictures. So I can put some music in the back. So next one is the TV commercial.
You don't play this game. It plays with you. Eternal Dark.
This is similar.
Only for Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, it's like a shorter version, a more TV friendly version of the previous one. It has also the same song, and it says, "You don't play this game. This game plays you." And it has this GameCube thingy, of course.
You don't play this game. It plays with you. Eternal Darkness. Only for Nintendo GameCube.
Life's a game. There's a virtual one, and then there's the Japanese commercial.
GameCube 古の城エターナルダークネスに秘められた暗黒の歴史死闘の中精神が蝕まれやがて幻覚に襲われていく12人の闇の記憶を追体験するサイコスリラー任天堂ゲームキューブエターナルダークネス主人公ではないあなたが直接幻覚を体験する
Exactly. I think there was a longer commercial though, with more details. But yeah, so Eternal Japanese came after US version. So of course this is all final. What does it say here? 10:25. Mina Careta 13. And then the rest is demos from E3. So give me a second. Okay. So you see, there is again this room that looks smaller, which we saw on Pius on the trailer, and here we see it with Joseph. And then Joseph art actually, kind of like a. Can use it as a screensaver, I guess. Some Max. Nice face. And this is we saw this on the trailer. So that is the weird glitch of the head floating after it bounces. So apparently a feature at some point. Heads bouncing when you cut them, and of course the soldier Michael. Some art of Pius. Yeah, these are like pretty good renders. Did it actually say take artifact? I don't think so. I think it just says interact. So this is like semi-early, before they change most BROMs to interact or examine, I guess, rather. This is an early menu. It was found by Toast, I believe, on the memory files or somewhere else. I mean, on the game files. It had more stuff on the background, but the face doesn't look as great as the final one. And this is from the demo that we're gonna show. Choose your destiny. So this is just to show off different characters on different spots. Just a Demolay at the Bud Knight Templar. And here you can also see Joseph and hang on. This image I can actually show it to you better. So if you give me 1 second here. I guess this works. Okay. Maybe if I increase the gamma a lot. So you can see more or less. No, luminosity doesn't help. Maybe contrast. Yeah, contrast kind of helps. So you can kind of see Roberto look quite different. Look at that. It's a more early Roberto. Joseph, right there. Lindsay looks the same. Everyone else looks about the same, and there is Michael in the back on the left. Slightly different too. Because Soldier and of course Red Top Alex with a shotgun. And Joseph with a sword, like they gave everything to Joseph, you know, mace, dual wield mace, axe, sword, ramdao, everything. This is a nice picture. Like, this is a pretty cool render. I like it. Wait, I wish we had something like that with the final characters too. Okay, so I think this is only on one ear, sadly, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's go with it. So this is from 1E3. So yeah, your left ear is gonna love this.
And there you can see that one attack was not advantageous to you because I was trying to attack from the right, so I was hitting the side of the wall.
So someone's playing stuff here.
So the environment does come into play. Here he's kind of cautious, he hears some things in the room. And what's great too is the story is very deep. Again, each character has their own background, you really learn a lot about them. And as you can see here, this seems like a simple puzzle where you basically line up the markings, but that actually has a lot of significance that you learn as you play the game.
Look at those animations.
He's reacting to them, he's watching them. Actually, there you actually saw it now. I'm tired. I was running around too much, doing too many combos. So the character actually got tired. So you can see the fog actually roll up the stairs. All the cinematics and all the gameplay are really real time. We can move the camera anywhere we want. As you'll see here, what I'm doing is I'm opening a door that's a couple rooms down, and you can see the camera actually flies through in real time and shows you what opened.
There's also music from other games, by the way, in the background.
So here it's just zooming through. Also notice that it's dynamically loading. There's almost no load times at all. In fact, it was instantaneous from room to room. However, players were getting disorientated by that, so we had to put in that little bit of a moment there. But it was instant from room to room.
I wonder if that's true.
This statue
I believe it.
serves as a tutorial for the fighting to show how I can target each body part.
It's changed slightly.
So if I examine it, gives you a little bit of a background on the combo. So in this story, he's actually getting called to this kind of central power.
Nice camera.
He's activated his teleporter now, and he continues to get called towards it. And this is actually asking you to make a gameplay path choice. So you have to choose to align yourself with one of these artifacts. You notice the detail in his neck and his neck muscles when he's actually reacting to this.
The detail on his neck muscles. Look at that.
So is the game actually in there? Sorry? It's a prototype of it. It's actually running off of it.
And there you go. The cinematic is about the same. It hasn't changed that much. Let's unpack some stuff here, because there's still a lot of video. So something the person said is that the loading time between rooms was instant, but they actually add some like dummy or fake loading time because players were getting disoriented. I don't know about that. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to that. But to be fair, ED loading times are pretty good for GameCube, regardless, compared to other games. So that's still very good. This statue is slightly different. Also, the tutorial didn't seem to be, at this point at least, mandatory. You will only see it if you examine here. Also, you can see the head bouncing here too. So it definitely was a feature. Look at that. Look how it bounces. Everything bounces a little bit when you cut it. And then here it examines. So then, only if you examine, you will get the tutorial. Which is pretty cool, but maybe they run into trouble with new players. Of them not understanding what's going on. And they just decide to do it. A mandatory message, you know. There's a lot of that. And then early teleporter. We see this same teleport animation when characters start on the different demos. Very fast button with a slightly disorienting camera, which is, it's cool, but it probably had that problem too.
So in this story, he's actually getting called to this kind of central power, and he's activating the teleporter.
And also the pause menu wasn't optimized. It's very slow.
All the cinematics and all the gameplay are really real time. We can move the camera anywhere we want.
You can see here, it takes a whole lot to open the pause. And it's showing all these things. It has all the modes and has this weird thing. I don't know what this is. It almost looks like the blowgun. Because that's definitely not the Gladius, right? It doesn't look like the Gladius to me. Yo, Shadow, how you doing? Give me 1 second though. I need to sneeze. So any guesses? It's like a... It looks like a metal tube. And the Gladius is not on the menu, so I guess they just started with a equipped weapon or something.
I'm opening a door.
No idea. So what happens after? Oh, we go here. Okay, so...
The story path. And how that kind of unfolds is essentially like the movies go and momentum.
So, dynamic loading for uninterrupted gameplay, deep, involved storyline that spans cons, okay, 12 playable characters with unique traits and subplots. Yep, pretty
Where
much.
you eventually experience the movie from different perspectives. That's kind of...
And then there's a little bit more. A revolutionary gentle genre. What does that say? Genre, psychological thriller, groundbreaking, reactive animation system, provides natural emotions and responses to the game environment. Yeah, they were talking about that actually, how the character will look at nearby enemies and stuff like that. Lightning fast gameplay running at 60 FPS. That is fairly, like, on GameCube there is some drops here and there, but in general it's very stable. Like this game, it's for its time and its console, it's super optimized, I think.
That's kind of what happens there. So there's parts in the game where basically
These something is for the use of Nintendo GameCube
which one you've chosen,
only.
you experience the storyline from a different perspective. It also kind of realigns some of the enemies, and as you saw, they're very unique and they're kind of different. Well, you'll see coming up. So they have different fighting styles and different ways you want to approach them. That'll actually change the way they're ordered up. Well,
So GameCube right there.
different weapons that go hand in hand to projectile stuff like a shotgun.
Functional GameCube.
And it actually goes to desert commando type stuff with laser
Let's go,
sights,
camera.
machine guns. So it's actually pretty diverse.
Yeah, sorry for the left ear thingy, but
Now here's actually the main character who again finds the book.
It's the only video I
As you
found.
read the stories, you're transported into each one of those characters' chapters.
Here's Alex. Again, this is just a demo of Alex, so it's thrown there on the mansion and you fight some stuff.
And you can see the kind of difference again. She can do things like notice the paintings in the room, and she can look at them. And again, we have full range of facial expressions. She can be observant at the painting. She can be scared of the painting if we want to. We can morph the painting into something evil, and she can react to it. The eyeballs are all real geometry. The eyebrows raised. Everything moves, and it looks very realistic. But also something which is called weak courtesy. As she puts her head up, she'll actually put her forward and bend her shoulders in a human-like manner.
The most unique thing about this game is the sanity system. As a sanity meter, magic health. The character can and will go insane. It will start to hallucinate. They'll start to see things that it'll have the player questioning what's happening. You start playing with magic, you'll lose sanity. You start not finishing bad guys and being overwhelmed by all the bad guys you're seeing, you'll lose sanity. Scripted events, you'll lose sanity.
So basically based on your decision...
Yeah, she loses some sanity there.
The game changes as you play.
There's not a lot of feedback yet on this version, because it's very early. But she's losing sanity right there. They started putting that more feedback, like the eyes glowing and all that later. Another thing you can notice here is also, because of a very early build, there's no animations for turning around. You will instantly turn around. You can see it from time to time, where she goes to the opposite direction she's walking or something, and she will instantly change direction instead of an actual turnaround. So that's more polished stuff, of course. There was a little bit of a turnaround there because it was targeting, but on walking, I think it's just insta change of animation. That's slightly different animation. The running animation is different, of course. Interesting camera.
You're seeing a very small sample of the enemies here. We had the harder red ones, now we got these blue ones. They all have their own unique tactics. They all have their own unique strategy on how you want to attack them and their effect on you. Great ray trace lighting here.
With the game keeps multiple passes on the textures, we can do all different kinds of pre-lit lighting, as well as real-time lighting, as well as reflective textures. So if you look, in some of the rooms, they can have lighting
Trucks.
that reflect off objects. And again, this room might be beautiful and looks incredibly well lit, but if a character came through this room with a torch, they would light the room up realistically. So you'd have yet another layer of lighting. The shotgun actually has a muzzle flare, and you can look at it and light little parts of the room. Again, here you can really see her eyes. They're real geometry, and she has real expressions and reactions. The mouth, the storyline has an hour and a half of voice, and it's veterans of TV, movies, and cartoons. It should not be movie stuff. It's really well acted.
Yeah, more bouncing of the parts, body parts cut. He's showing up the mansion.
Actually, the game is always at 60 frames a second. The main characters are 5,000 plus polygons. We have
5,000 plus polygons. Does anyone know how good is that for the era? They're saying the characters are 5,000 more polygons. I have no idea about, like, if that is a lot or not a lot for the era. I have no idea.
multiple texture passes on them, so if you saw the Roman Centurion character,
It's good graphic for the era, so it must be good.
shiny map, bump mapping. The enemies are about 3,000 plus polygons.
Enemies 3,000 plus polygons, says.
The game runs in full high resolution mode, 60 frames at all times, and in fact we're able to put about 15 enemies on screen. It's just not very playable.
15 enemies on screen. What does Sir have to say about that? I think you actually found some similar numbers to where the game started to hustle, right? It was like on 16 you will start to get the super slide stuff because the game started to glitch. So I guess 15 maybe was true. Maybe they just say the limit. it's good. I don't want to mention it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, what's big?
So we're kind of balancing that act. Real shadows can cast, and then we put another layer of lighting in there.
Was this developed in the U.S.?
This is developed by Silicon Knights in Ontario, Canada.
They're the ones who did Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
They're in the U.S.?
No, they're just outside of
They're
Toronto.
just outside, they're in Toronto. And they're an exclusive Nintendo second party, so they're exclusive to us.
Talking about Silicon Knights there.
You notice
She's looking down at the enemy as they rise up.
their sanity meters got really low.
Reacting to those things.
Oh, also, Sacrament. We have Sacrament here, which is the song that is sounding. Which is the music you will get on the demo for the mansion.
Then you realize you never actually went in the room at all. She hallucinated the whole thing.
And that's kind of an in-your-face view of how the sanity happens. And there's a lot more subtle things. You can walk into a room and the walls will bleed. Happy, joy, fun paintings, and suddenly evil paintings that look at you. Statues watch you like the haunted. So you can see as you go through, here's another one.
So these are early versions
Sanity not only affects the character, but we actually do things that affect the play.
of Bloodbath and Head of Shakespeare.
Yes. Actually, if you vanquish your enemies, you can gain sanity back. One of the characters is actually a monk. He can meditate.
So, some things to unpack. So, first of all, look at this weird B prompt or prompt. You can have up to 19 enemies. Okay, before it starts, continually reloading actors. Okay, but weapons and other actors can reduce that. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So they were being generous with the 15 number. So what is kind of weird, like, is that actually a blue A, or is it just a green with the camera? You know, maybe the camera doesn't show the proper color. It might be just that, but it's funny that you can press either A or B, and it makes some sense because on the demo you could also skip a lot of, or maybe all the text bubbles with A, not just with B, even though they say only B. You can still use A for those on the demo. And then this will skip automatically after a little bit. Maybe. Either that or they pressed.
Then you realize you never actually went in the room.
No, I think
at
they
all. She
pressed.
hallucinated the whole thing.
And that's kind of an in-your-face
There's a lot of blood there too.
paintings, and suddenly evil paintings that look at you.
And this is funny because the last part of the bloodbath, it actually shows the head again. Look at it. Here, it's gonna show the head again.
There are ways to gain sanity back.
Actually, if you vanquish your
There it is.
one of the characters is actually a monk. He can meditate.
Imagine you would have all these sanity effects so close to each other. It's probably fine-tuned for the demo, so they could show a lot of that.
Realize they're a sanity effect until it's over.
And essentially, the game has a lot of jumping and surprise scares that aren't
Different camera.
But the whole idea of the game is because you're kind of going insane, you're never going to be comfortable when you enter a room because you're not really
Oh, look at
what's
that.
happening is a real gameplay situation or it's something
A
that's
scripted horror when you go back from the second floor.
Watch your head as it comes down the stairs.
Shit.
She is always looking at that enemy. Unlike a lot of games, the character knows there's an enemy in the room and is aware of it and looking at it.
You can actually see if they've been damaged and you walk into a room with 4 or 5 enemies, they will be cautious, they'll be scared, they might be passive. It also depends on the type of enemy. So,
Okay,
a
bye.
enemy like the Roman centurion,
Those attacking so fast.
the situation is at a disadvantage. But a weaker character is more of an average everyday character, will be scared and more avoidance of that situation.
I think shotgun was attacking just one enemy
We call this
at this point.
This is really unique. It starts as chain reaction. The character takes damage. It also affects their magic and their sanity. So you gotta watch out for health. There is a way to counter.
Yeah, the colors are slightly changed here, probably because of the camera.
It's a unique feature of that enemy. So each enemy is unique and different and requires its own strategy. Now she's hurt. She's critically wounded. You can see it in the animations. I try to run. We'll go ahead and end this level. And if those who want to stick around, we'll show you some of the intelligent camera things they're doing. They can actually change the camera and make intelligent camera moves based on the state of the character, things in the room.
If it's all you Oya zombie singing, it will crouch before that overloading sound sources. Okay.
We have what we call the dynamic camera, where as you can see the camera sweeps and pans through the room instead of cuts that disrupt the gameplay and alter your control.
Joseph, do all well.
It's very Mario style, so it's camera relative. So if you push in that direction, that's the direction he goes. It's very responsive, and while the camera's turning and panning, you actually do stuff that interpolates that action.
So you see here, for the demonstration on E3, they put Joseph here, but Joseph is supposed to be on the desert. It's just that they already have pies on the desert, so it would be kind of, you know, like not cool to just show that again. So that's why they put Joseph here. That's my guess.
It's like they need more RAM or something. Now, one of the really cool things is we've been trying to find a balance between what we call the gameplay camera and the art camera. So when there's an enemy in the room, we of course focus on the gameplay camera. So it's a little bit less dynamic, but it definitely focuses on the enemy and lets you play the game well. So here's an example where you
That trigger is a lot, like, different. This room is different. Look at that. The stairs are not in the same place. Interesting. Jesus, look at that. Finish the animation so long. It finished it, but it's still there. Okay, there you go. They're saying the camera is now different because there's no enemy. Yeah, which is true. The game does that, and it's very subtle on some places. There's like slightly differences on the camera. He runs so slow. Like max speed. And this dual wielding actually looks meaningful, unlike the Total War one. Is that a hole? Is that a hole in the ground? The fuck? It's old cell phone noises, maybe? And yeah, we have the Dream of Forever music. So probably it wasn't even named that way at the beginning, because it was made before Kareem. Yeah, there you can see the animation thingy, where it snaps immediately into the other animation.
Instantaneous loads between the rooms. You don't see any load time in between the rooms. How much RAM is in the system? Total. I don't even know.
I don't even know.
How much is this going to cost? They haven't announced. Not announced yet, okay. That'll be announced on the 22nd.
And that's it for Joseph.
24th? It's one of those days, and NCL's going to do it. Okay.
Alright, that was a long one. Probably the longest one. It looks like the prompts used to fade in and out unless the guy's camera is just that bad. It could be. Could be. No, it kind of looks like it's fading.
How much is this gonna cost? They haven't announced that. Not announced yet. Okay.
Yeah, it fades in and then it fades out. It doesn't instantly disappear. Yeah, you're right. All right. We can finally rest our left ears. Good. So, why are you advancing automatically? You don't do that. The fuck? Don't do that. Hello? OBS, what's going on? Hang on. Alright, let's go. We were on GameCube. So, Joseph. We saw that. Okay, here. Yeah, so from here on, it's mostly like rendering. There's some interesting renders of the game. So these are like, I don't know if promotional or just like art renders. Some of these are found on like official web pages of some of the artists of the game. So these are like official renders of some of the enemies. So you can see the trappers. This looks slightly better than the game when you play it, you know, because it's like a more, I don't know, a better render. I don't know how to put it, but so you have Matrox Zombie here. You see the face of this looks a little bit more polished, kinda. That too. I don't remember if we have the Ulyat one. There's some missing. There's some I couldn't find. Was unable to find. Yeah, we don't have the Ulyat zombie, sadly. You see there's a lot of details on this horror right here. Ulyat horror. Delta with very interesting lighting. And then we even have this one. Alright, let me see one thing.
I'm dead.
Okay, so I have more videos. These more videos are also, I think, from the same demo. I think these are more short. Slightly short. Yeah, these are more short, some of them. There's one that is longer. I don't know if it is the same video with different commentary. I guess we'll see. Because this actually, I think, has Dennis commentary. Let's just do a test with the first. No, this is the same one. This.
I'm Dennis Dyack from Silicon Knights. I'm the director of this project. Helping me show this is Jeff Kalis from Nintendo of America. And what we're going to focus on in this video clip that we're doing is Alex Roivas. She is the main character in the game, and she returns to the mansion during at the beginning of the story after her grandfather's death. What we're going to show here is the sanity system. You'll see here in Eternal Darkness the number of polygons for a character is actually higher than the entire polygons for an entire refresh on the N64. A lot of people may think we may have simply converted this. That's not true. We actually wrote the code from scratch, and this is using a subset of the Two Human engine. Notice as
as Jeff walks around.
A subset of the 2 Human engine. Look at that. Yeah, because apparently, didn't they want to release 2 Human at some point for GameCube? Maybe before this? I'm not sure. I don't remember.
That's not true. We actually wrote the code from scratch, and this is using a subset of the 2 Human engine. Notice as Jeff walks around, that the detail
I can see a whole lot
in the
but,
background.
okay, there you go.
If you were actually to look at some of those pages, we actually modeled all the books, and if you were to look at some of the paid paper on the table, you can actually read that.
It's not completely true. You can read it, but it doesn't really have words. But I give you that, okay? But we've seen that on the stream.
GameCube allows us to do 24 bits per second, 640 by 480, always maintaining 60 frames per second. As Jeff moves through the game here, he'll be able to show you the targeting system where you can highlight different body parts. So if he wants to shoot off the head here, he just selects the head, fires, and shoots. And he can also take out the torso if he wants to.
Yeah, so these are pretty short. All from the same.
Now what we're going to do...
Yeah, there you go.
What we really want to do here is show you the sanity system. And the way the sanity system works is, as you see enemies, your sanity starts to drop. A lot of people might think Eternal Darkness is a survival horror game, but actually it's not. We actually are taking the opposite approach with the sanity system. So, as an example, in Resident Evil, which is one of the classic survival horror games, you're not given enough bullets and you have to run away from the enemies. But what we do in this game is actually... every time you see an enemy, your sanity will drop. The only way to get it back is to kill them and to sort of regain some confidence. So if you run through the game and don't kill any enemies, you'll actually go insane and die, and you really don't want that. So you have to balance both your sanity, your hit points, and your magic.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point that I think is very true for this game. Because you go insane and die, exactly. I actually have that quote I use it sometimes. Watching against for funsies? Yeah, I actually... How you doing, Toast? And Chireen, welcome. I watched some that I never watched before. This we watched before, so you actually remember this. Yeah, so I watched this before, but I just wanted to do a stream with a compilation of all the stuff I have. And there was before on the stream some stuff that I didn't watch.
For most intents and purposes, all the story, all the magic system, and most of the sanity effects have been removed from the game, but we'll highlight 2 here for you.
Yeah, those 2 apparently are Head of Shakespeare and Bloodbath that were shown on the other video.
You can see here that Eternal Darkness uses the engine, or the 2 Human engines, allows us to do ray trace lighting. All the lighting is not your typical polygon lighting. You notice that you can see light coming through, moonlight coming through the windows. That's all geometry. There's actually geometry outside as well. That's not even coming close to pushing what the system can do.
Yeah, outside it's I mean, I guess it does qualify as geometry. Yeah, it is. It's a texture. It's just a picture.
Notice as well that the character actually watches the enemies. We call that the reactive animation system. The character itself can have over 80,000 plus facial animations. And
80,000 plus facial animations. I don't know about that number, dude. About 2 weeks back, a guy came for about owning a dog for the game. And he at least mentioned Joseph. Do you have a link of that? Said he was looking for like hundreds and didn't post any pics. Like he was looking to sell it. Is he going to like NFT the thing? What the fuck?
Always watching the enemies at all times. We think that really brings the characters to life, and we as well have a lot more animations for each character. Each character has different weapons, different spells, different levels of sanity. Some are faster, some are slower. We really think it highlights the different.
I like that
characters.
face.
There you saw some facial animation. Notice as Jeff.
One of the 80,000
moves
face
around
animations.
This room, you can actually see light reflecting off the plates. That's a detail that we haven't seen anywhere else. What we're going to show now is we're going to show the intelligent camera system. This is just a really small part of what we can do. We've selected Joseph Demolay, who is...
This is similar to the other one, but I think it's a different clip. You know, here is Dennis talking, the other one, I don't know who was talking.
Actually a Knights Templar, he's authentically modeled. One of the things about Eternal Darkness is that we have taken historically accurate time periods and modeled everyone as accurately as possible. So you see with the Roman Centurion, the Knights Templar, and Alex, who's modern day, we actually tried to make everything accurate. And what he actually does is he fights Florentine with a mace and an axe. He's a pretty mean hombre. Each character has more weapons.
Pretty mean hombre.
But we're not showing them in E3.
Wait, why are you not showing?
An axe. He's a pretty mean hombre. Each character has more weapons. He has many more
Okay.
weapons in this, but we're not showing
Many
them
more
in
weapons.
E3.
Yeah, Joseph apparently had the rundown too. Just like Kareem.
Now, look at the detail on the chainmail. The GameCube really allows us to do quite a bit. More than we've seen on other systems, more than we've seen on a PC. Again, you can see some of the lighting effects coming through the windows. Jeff is just going to basically crush this guy pretty quickly and to be able to finish him off. One
And
of
the
things
bouncing.
I want you to pay attention to now, though, is watch the cameras as Jeff walks around the room. Notice the detail again in the pages. Actually, with the zoom up, you can actually see the writing on the pages. But look
Yeah,
at
it's
the
not
cameras.
true.
What this camera is optimized for is for fighting, to make sure that nothing's in the way.
I mean, you can see
You
scribbles.
look at the enemy at all times, and then you have
But
a
not
good
letters.
perspective of the room. But now that the enemy's dead, Jeff can leave the room, come back in. Now watch the cameras. There we go, we're flying through the rafters. And if Jeff comes to the back of the room, Jeff, can you run to the back of the room? Thank you. You'll be able to actually see the entire detail that we're allowed to put in on the GameCube. Notice that there's more than just rafters. We actually have the individual boards modeled. Everything up there is very, very detailed. And these
Who
are
is
just
Jeff?
things now that we
Jeff
take for
on
granted.
the dev team.
And a lot of the rooms that we're showing here at E3 are really on a small scale compared to what's in the actual game. The best stuff is not being shown yet. What we're gonna
Okay, hang on. So what is this toast? Yeah, I'm definitely more interested in selling it for profit than preservation. Yeah, exactly. Where to sell? That's I have in my okay, hang on. Where is this? Gaming collecting. Sure. Where to sell? I have in my possession an original game design document from a Nintendo exclusive IP from the late 90s. It has content that was cut from the release game, original art, etc. It's in very good condition, and it was recently revealed to me there is likely a market for that. No, I don't think so. Could potentially go for a fair bit of money. At the estimates given to me, I'm looking for anyone knows any companies or resources I could contact who would help me value it properly, get the visibility of the correct market, and okay, but well, first of all, where do you? I don't know. He joined a Discord later and say it was ED. Okay, interesting. You can get sued for this, by the way. I think, and this is why a lot of this stuff are just leaked instead of sold. Because if Nintendo, you know, I'm not saying it will happen, but Nintendo has proven to be an asshole from time to time, and if they want, they can sue you for stuff like this. Only if they want. And that's why most stuff just get leaked. And I think it's better for preservation, honestly. My man thinks he can make money out of it. You think you're gonna get viewers out of that shit? Holy shit. The Deads couldn't even do that. Time to sell the document for Dynastitia. Dude, I gave that for free to state funds like 2 days ago. They fucking have all my stuff. They have... The only thing they don't have is the game code, but they're close to it. Holy shit.
There's actually a lot of detail.
But yeah, no, I have some early Dreamnesthesia stuff. When I'm famous, one day I'm gonna be famous and I'm gonna sell those. You can get chapter 1 demo though for free on itch.io right now. Or you can pay something if you want to donate. We haven't worked on the game for a while, but it's because we're looking for funds and we're doing other stuff, the dev team. we're dealing with some other stuff too. You can sell clay figures too, exactly. I have some Snowza one. I need to do like an Etsy store or something.
A lot of detail into the system, so we are trying to encourage people not to run a lot, simply because it's not very realistic. So if he runs a lot, this character will actually start to become tired. There's so much animation in this game, a lot of which we've taken out for E3. But you actually see here, he'll start to get tired, he'll start to breathe hard.
There you go.
If he starts to attack, his attacks are actually slower now. He cannot do combos, so it's a real effect on the player. And each character.
Yeah, for those who don't know, combo attacks, on-target attacks. You do on-target attacks, and then you match A, you do a combo. Combos consume a fucking huge amount of stamina. That's why they're like kind of so bad in the game. Like, they're cool, but they don't do a lot of damage. They do half damage of a normal regular attack, and they consume a huge amount of stamina. I think it's like 3,000 or something like that. It's a lot. You have like 10,000, and it's like the second combo is like 3,000, and the third is like 2,000. So it's like 5. It's a lot. You get tired immediately with combos. I think that wasn't balanced very well.
Different weapons. Each character, some characters are in better physical shape, some characters have better sanity, some characters are much better at magic. There are 12 different playable characters in the game. Here Jeff will be able to just walk through these guys.
The granite block is on a different spot. The center of the room is actually a kind of a torch or like a bonfire.
So now Jeff, if we can, just really go through the level quickly. We'll show the volumetric fog, and then we'll show the cinematic, and then we'll actually have it come to a spot.
And then this room, which is very small on this version.
Definitely, really clearly show that the load times are very quick. So Jeff here is just weeding through these guys really quickly. Notice again that the player will look at the ladders. Watch here as he walks by. The torch pops again. He looks at it, goes back. And there he sees an enemy around the corner, so he's looking at the enemy now. Now you'll notice there was a lot of questions early before the GameCube was announced as could we do volumetric fog? Well, not only can the GameCube do volumetric fog, we can do volumetric fog and we can actually make it roll along the ground. We have not seen that on a PC. We have not seen it on any other game system. And you'll really be able to see it in this room. Again, you can see the detail and the textures that the GameCube allows us to do. Notice as the fog rolls along the floor.
There you go, that's the volumetric fog. Do we even have that on the final game? On that room? I don't know. Is the guy talking Dayak? Yeah, this is Dayak on this one. Well, looking N64 would have been C version awesome too. Yeah, absolutely. I really want to play the N64 version. I know it's on a fucking bunker surrounded by other lost projects and stuff on a Nintendo bunker. It definitely exists. He sure knows how to sell a game. Absolutely. The rafters. Yeah, this is GameCube. I shown some of the N64 early, but yeah, we have footage of N64 too.
There's actually a lot of detail into the system. So
oh, this is the same. Okay, so the last one is longer, apparently. Oh yeah, okay, so that was it. So for the Dayak commentary, that was all that I could find. It was uploaded by a channel on YouTube, and it had only 5 parts. It was kind of cut on those different parts. I couldn't find more of that. So this is one I haven't watched myself, and that someone posted on Discord long ago. But I never watched it. I just leave it, to review on the stream. We put in loss unintentionally because it's too fast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I honestly don't know if that's true or not. I give a little bit of the benefit because they were saying the players were get lost, I actually recently had an idea to burn stamina on purpose to get cutscene skips. Okay, using the slowed down attack animation. Interesting. Yeah, players were getting disoriented, so they put more loads. So this is from an E3 too. Probably the same E3, but it's just random footage from someone. And you can see I cut this because this was like an hour long. So I only cut the segment of ED, and there's some cameo here. Was this game released or not? I don't remember. It was a GameCube game at some point. And there you go, Eternal Darkness. This has a lot of background noise, but there's some stuff here. Maybe some new stuff, we'll see. There's the intro cutscene. I actually hear... What do I hear in the background? Is that Hyrule? No, what? That's like Hyrule from Melee, maybe? Like the one you hear on Great Bay, maybe? Or I guess Termina Field. Right. Okay, that is interesting. Look at that. Slightly different cutscene. It's Great Bay in Melee. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was 4 when this came out. How you doing, Master Chief? There's some leaked builds of the OG Xbox version. Oh, of Cameo, I guess. And that's Fountain of Dreams. Okay, so no message right there. You would just go down the ladder. Which makes sense, it's just a demo. We get this animation right here. Slightly different, slightly unpolished, I would say. This looks more like just someone playing the game, not, you know, showing off, just someone actually casually trying the demo. and struggling with the geometry. Holy shit. Also, you see this green glow of the sword without being enchanted. He's tired. Look at that. Press B or A to what? What is this? This is the kind of stuff they shouldn't gotten feedback on and adjusted. They adjust some of it to continue. Oh, okay. They adjusted some of it. Like, I still feel it's fairly alright to, you know, get stuck on walls. They definitely adjusted some of it. You get stuck less, but there's still stuff, you know, like the maze, for instance, on the back attack of the maze that gets cut a lot. But they definitely got a lot of feedback, I think, on a lot of stuff. Like, for example, there's more feedback for sanity damage today. Here, just sanity just reduces, but there's no feedback to the player on what is reducing your sanity. But yeah, I guess the one thing that didn't get a lot of feedback was the combo system, maybe. I would say.
To happen.
Yo, I'm overcome with emotion. Thank you so much for the sub. Much appreciated. Wait, was that a time jump? That was a weird time jump. Yeah, I guess it's just a... It's a cut on the... Yeah. On the video. This is edited, apparently. I mean, I edited because I cut the Eternal part. The Eternal Darkness part. But on top of that, it's also edited, the YouTube video, probably. Or maybe it was on parts, and they edited just together. So yeah, technically, a lot of casual players are meant to mess around with just the combo system right here. Because... Yo, thank you for the host, Solero. Because here you still don't see the targeting system tutorial. You hear that? Deep into that darkness spearing. Speedruns in CRT, yeah. Speedruns on wet camera. You know, it's funny that you said that. Like, I speedrun CRT, by the way. There's my CRT right there with a bra on top because I'm a mess. But it's funny that you say it on here. Someone like fucking doing footage of a video of a CRT because on the record for this game for like 4 years was like this. That was the record of Swiken. It was a camera looking at CRT. So the guide on targeting, it could be. You can see it a few seconds before it starts the limbs. There was like a reflection too at the beginning of this section. Here, you can see the person playing. Yeah, there's someone else playing, because I hear sounds from Eternal too, but they're not from this Eternal, you know? Someone talked there a little bit. It's honestly the most hard to falsify method of recording. It is. It kinda is. It was a CRT. I thought it was a LCD. Oh no, it was a LCD. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're totally right. I kind of got confused because I was thinking just of the camera, but yeah, it was a. It wasn't a CRT. You're right. On the Soiken one. What is the fourth item? I actually don't know. Because here we can see better that the equip item is the sword. It kind of looks more like the Gladius, you know? But the fourth item, we were talking about that before on another footage of the same demo. It kind of just looks like a metal tube. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a lot of text. Altogether. Massive text. Yeah, so early there wasn't any of scroll on text. You can also see that on the demo that we have access to on the demo disc. All the text is shown immediately, which allows for very interesting speed tech. And here you can also see like all the text is shown immediately on a massive bubble. Blowgun from Chatterelia? Yeah, it could be. It's it kind of looks like it, yeah. The pause menu takes forever to open here. Talking about no loading times. Look at that. It takes forever. Now, to be fair, on GameCube, even on the final game, some of the pauses were very long. You hear that? That was a door from someone else playing the game too. On a different TV, probably. Yeah, and the press B or A to continue, that's also on the demo disc. Even though it's weird, because the demo disc only says B to continue and examine and stuff like that, but you can actually press A to get rid of the message. So they left that for the demo disc, but later got rid of it. Look at that. Hang on. Oh, there's the controllers there. Gray Mantorok? You think so? It could be a color thingy. No, I guess, yeah, it kind of doesn't have glow. Yeah, it doesn't have glow. My guess is that the purple was probably intended all the time, but maybe it didn't have glow here. Because it's like dormant or something. I don't know if you have any depictions of Mantorok early. Here, there's slightly different statue with an optional tutorial and always animated during the tutorial. Bouncing body parts when you cut them. Looks black almost. Yeah, it could be. Maybe. Maybe it was meant to be black. And then early teleporter room. And yeah, someone's playing with Alex on the other TV, which has higher volume. Because I hear the shotgun. This room was massive this way. Or at least the camera makes it look that way. Volumetric fog, remember. We've never seen that on PC or other consoles. Yeah, it might be just the camera. Like the FOV. FOV is actually modified, I think, on some parts. And then you get that fancy camera spin. And the early teleporter animation. Which one are you going to choose? What's your favorite color? Gonna be red. Chaturgi. Yeah, you can hear Sacrament from the other place. In the mansion. I guess cutscenes were made very early. Because this one is the exact same. And much more polished, you know, than the rest of the game. Because it's easier to make a cutscene. It's just one animation. My ass got more volumetric after I started hormones. Yes. So that is a different. That is, I've never seen that picture. We don't have that on the memory. On the game files. That in the back. Kind of a 7 spell. It has Santak. And I don't know if the runes actually make sense here. But it's kind of cool. I would love to have that image. It's a pre-release version of the game. This right here is, this specific video is footage from, yeah, an early version pre-release shown on E3. Probably 2001, this one. Yeah, 2001. The game was released on 2002. So they got like 1 year to polish a lot of stuff and change a couple characters. Because they had to rewrite some stuff. They're using component. Interesting. Wait, like no composite? Seriously? Look, you can, on the back, you can see Pikachu. And like, I don't know, some other characters. Like Peach, maybe? A Starwing or an R-Wing. Probably a promotional thingy for like Rogue Leader, Smash, I don't know, stuff. Yeah, cameraman didn't got the best here. With the angle right here. Safe to say, the only reason I play is for the volumetric file. It showed the connection. Oh, okay. When the demo reset. And that's Carnaria in the back. Or Millie. Yeah, we saw this, you know, the camera and the rafters. Yeah, that kind of has the same damage of the toolbar, maybe, you know. Although it's even more damage, or maybe it wasn't modified because it cut the zombie, you know. When you kill it with a cut armor, I mean weapon, but you do the exact same damage, you don't cut it. Like we do on the rammed out fight on Mantrock zombies. You need to do more damage to cut it. I don't know how much. If maybe just 1 HP more or percentage. And the other person is going ham with the shotgun. I want to see Millie turn the camera around. So there is a hole on this room. So weird. Yeah, thanks. Oh, I think maybe maybe the weapon glows green when you kill the enemy. Because you recover sanity. It could be that. Yeah, look at that. You recover sanity before finishing them. At least here. And that's why it goes green. It was the feedback for the player. Look at that. All right, and that's the end of it. And there's a couple more images from here. So there's this. We have the gatekeepers. So artistic renders of the game. Reapers. We're missing the Zelda one. Couldn't find it. And we even have vampires. You can actually see details on the vampires. This one, not so much. Not the best quality, but... And there's the green one. And yeah, we get Guardians too. This one's pretty good. I like Cosmic Crab. Then there's the Hydralisk. Pretty cool too. And the Zelda one, which is on the room with Reveal Invisible on Alex. You can actually see the hole in the ground. And then here we go. So this is the Black Guardian we have. So not that different from the N64 one, right? See if I can show you that one. 1 second. Oh, I guess I don't have it on picture, but I have the video. Find it. Was it the trailer, I think? It probably was the trailer at the end. I'm not sure I have a picture of this, though. No? Guess not. I was almost sure. There is. Yeah, it's the same. Look at that. Then Uyots. Sotas. And this is from the pre-render cutscenes. Pius, Alex. So here we start seeing Blacktop. This is more close to release. This picture's it's pretty cool. I like this one. And then there's some concept art. So here's some concept art for the vampire. Uyat vampire probably. Here's some for Zelda Black Guardian. So this is from artists of the game. This one's cool. It actually looks cooler than the pre-rendered Uyat. It looks more ominous. I guess it's kind of hard to get this effect on a 3D environment, a pre-rendered 3D environment. It looks more cosmic horror. I like it. And then there's this one. So this one was on the same concept art page, and it was labeled as Eternal Darkness, but we don't actually know. Like if this is actually from the game or not, if this was Mantork or something, we don't know. I'm showing it because it was labeled on the same page. So maybe we need to ask the artist. And then there's this a lot of photos that are online. This one is also a depiction from artists. And some concept arts that the artist said on the page, like how would the world look like after Zelda takes on the world. And then there are others. This is, I believe, Uyot, maybe? I don't remember. This one is definitely Uyot. And then the Chatura one is pretty cool. Look at this fucking shit. We see a little bit of this on these last videos shown, the flash forwards that Alex has at the end of the game. We see some of this concept. But yeah, you basically see a mass of all fucking humanity just walking naked into, like, going to be devoured by Chaturga. And then some unused stuff from 3D artists. Probably for Michael. Maybe they got used to make the pre-render cutscenes. But they're not shown as, you know, like geometric objects in the game. You know, there's this stuff too. So again, probably for Michael. General photos. Actually had a lot of these. This is also on the portfolio of one of the artists. Has worked for this game. Just environment. Then there's this. Looks slightly different. Volumetric fog, of course. Very important. You can see the difference between the different church, cathedral modes. So Raflenko, apparently. The artist. 8,000 poly. Anchor region, there's some for Anthony, and there is one that is unreleased around here. This is for Enga, number 8, number 9, and this. So this is an interesting one. This one, I would also say it's for Michael. Like maybe the destructed, the fireplace. You know, there on one of the pictures you can kind of see like a kind of a firefighter throwing water at this thing. So apparently meant to be 3D at some point. And it has some concept art down below. And then there's some storyboards for the fight. So there's like Uyoth fighting with Chaturga. The showdown. And then Chaturga smashes down with his claws, sending flames racing towards Uyoth. Flame heads towards Uyoth, but before they reach him, he opens a dimensional portal, which swallows them and snaps shut. Behind Chaturga, the portal reopens, and the flames rape up his back. Look at that. Serious business. Dialogue. Urgh. Dialogue. Arg. Chatura is covered in flames and writes in agony. Uyal and Chatura size each other up like gunfighters. Electricity surges from Oya's core. We can see all these on the final cutscenes, by the way. Grah! Lightning bolts rain down on Chaturga from above. He's overcome with pain, like I'm overcome with emotion sometimes. Still moldering from Oya's previous attack, Chaturga breathes his heart and prepares himself for battle. Roar. Raving back and opening his terrible jaws, Chaturga raises a claw to strike. In the instant before Chaturga's claw can make contact with Oya's, it appears into an open portal. Yep, you see that? Exactly. Chaturga is stunned for a moment when he discovers his right claw missing at the wrist. And it is exactly like that. So that is like very telegraphic, very typical, and kind of comedic in a way. But it's a typical thing when a limb is cut or something, and then nothing happens until you realize it. It's like when you fall out of a ledge or something, and you don't fall until you look down, and then you realize, okay, I'm done, and then you fall. You know, it's like kind of goofy cartoon. Turn around this manga when, yeah. And also, we are kind of on this like room dimension where all this happens. Look at that. Pain, blood. Camera trucks out from Chitara's close-up. In the foreground portal, a portal opens and the missing clothes tumbles out. Yeah, we can see all that on the final game. And that's all the storyboards we have. That's for the fight Oya versus Chitara. It's pretty cool. And some, again, general art. Just a collection of stuff I found from the game. Like full screen stuff. This one's pretty cool. I've used this one a couple times. We have Ellie in the back. Pius and Max. And a tier. You can see tier there. This one's also cool. Even, is that the... I think that's the vampire too. And then that's the end of it. So we went first circle back to the N64 stuff. So yeah. I hope you like that. The movie slideshow night. It's as much as I have to cover for all stuff. So we're gonna go to a break. And when I'm back, I can do some tutorials. Alright. It's gonna be some advanced tutorials. Let me find a song first. And then stick around for that. Be right back. Welcome back. That was I Don't Care by Alan Lissel. Pretty good song. I like it. How the fuck are you able to scream like that? How do you do it? Cool song. Alright, I need to get rid of that. I haven't played this game in some bit, so I hope this goes well. We'll see. My cat is here too. He might make an appearance eventually. Okay, I guess let's go US. Yeah, US probably works. Lots of years of trying to sound like other metal vocalists. I see. Okay, this text is not true anymore. And sorry, chat, but I might want to show DME. Wait, can I show it? OBS, please. There you go. You wanna come here? Come here. There's walking in circles. There you go. Yeah. How's it going today? What is this toast? Miyamoto, you have more footage? Nintendo's booth? Oh, there's like a tiny bit. Interesting. I posted in the Discord. No, I haven't showed this. Okay, hang on. I don't know how to show it though. What is this? Oh, it's old. I guess I missed it. Yeah, I probably just missed it when I was compiling all the stuff. Sorry for that. How can I show this? Hang on. I think I have a Chrome one. That work? Your day's ruined. I'm sorry. No. Let me reset this. Okay. There you go. Volumetric frog. Miyamoto. How did I miss this? Wait, is this... Holy shit, this is like intermediate. Again, how did I miss this? Interesting. Because this is like between... Is this N64? No. E3 2000. It has N64 cameras, but it's GameCube. Oh, no, it says N64, but is it actually N64? I guess it is. Looks really good then. So they actually change. They had fast menus. Yeah, it has the drop button. There you go. The Gladius. This means they did the entire GameCube version in 1 year. Holy shit. But then that was slow. Maybe you could skip this or something. Like sometimes it was slow, sometimes it's fast. And it's 64 all the way. Don't let the pre-render backgrounds fool you. It could be that. If you get a new item, oh, it could be. Also, the text bubbles have an entire animation. You see, this version is so fucking functional. And then Conquer. So that's the only part with Eternal, right? Metal Gear. But that already told a lot. Like, now I want to play this more. Like a Zelda treasure chest. Yeah, no, actually. Like here we see a good, rendition of it, because on the other trailers and quality, the other videos I have, the quality is really bad. But here is like, a good, a decent recording of a TV, and it looks awesome. Like, holy shit, like it fooled me. I thought it was the GameCube for a second, because the animations are good. It had the the turnaround in place, the ESS angle turnaround. Look at that. We really need to get that version someday. And fix the camera. Yeah, on N64 there was fixed camera like Resident Evil. More scraps of video somehow. Yeah. A playable N64 build. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the Dinosaur Planet thing, I actually think we have even more than that. We have like a fully done game. So even more complete than the Dinosaur Planet thingy. We just need to find it on like an F-Zero cartridge or something. I mean, yeah, maybe not finished, but was like 90%. Okay. Yeah, I would say then close to. It's just that, well, I guess it's not the same. How much they finished versus the version that came out, because the version that came out didn't look that finished to me. But I don't know. Yeah, so probably not finished, but maybe as much as Dinosaur Planet. Okay. Do I have save states or anything? Give me a second. We're gonna start with Kareem. There's a good chance we can find a build. I mean, it definitely exists. We just need, like, the last ever N64 game. Yeah. We just need to find it somehow. I guess I can start this from... Doesn't matter which version I played. I'm just gonna play in Japanese because I have save state for that. Fuck it. No other game would override it on the card. Okay. Let's change this to Japanese. Don't save. Sanity effects. Have some stats here. Okay. Off to sleep. Okay. We're not sure how it's 4 a.m. Yeah. How is it 4 a.m. where you live? Like, what the fuck? What's your problem? It's like 9 p.m. here. What do you do at Toast? Alright, so let's go to the important part first. And let's see how rusty I am too. Okay, so 8. Actually, I think I'm gonna get a little bit more than that. Or less, rather. That's kind of better. Okay. So this is the advanced strat we use for this horror. This is death skip. So the trick for death skip, this replaces a fast fight or a fast kill on the horror, which is when you basically cut the heads of the horror and you finish it that way. So that way is 3 hits from the back. Here we instead are going to do also 3 hits from the back, but it's gonna be on the body and then 1 from the front. So that leaves the body on just enough HP to die with a chakram. And so the idea is that you leave it like that on low HP and then you kill it with a chakram from far away and open the door at the same time. Okay. I was learning Hiragana and Katakana a couple weeks back. Kind of want to be able to partly read the game. Nice. That's pretty cool. Give me a second. Wanna go? Cat being a cat. So, for this trick to work or to be safe, or I guess let's talk about safeness later. Let's show the trick first. Okay. So, it should look like this. You go back. 1, 2, 3, and so there I was able to do 3 attacks before the electricity. If you give the electricity before the 3rd attack, you still want to pause after the electricity and like do an animation cancel like this to get the 3rd attack. Okay, that's totally fine. Now here I got it on the 3rd attack, so I'm still doing this, but I just want you to know that you can do it either on the second or the third, depending on how good your attack cancels are. So you anim cancel here to don't get knockback from the electricity. And then what I do is wait for the horror to turn around. You can also like go to the other side of the horror, but it usually starts turning around too much. So I just wait for it to turn around and hit it from the front. Because if you hit it from the back, you're gonna kill it. You see? Like that. So instead, you wait to do an attack from the front. And then on that attack, we're also going to cancel that attack with an animation cancel with a chakram. So wait for a front attack. And here, animation cancel for a chakram. And now head for the door. And when you're close to the door, you're going to turn around with X. And then target the horror, so R. And then you're going to slide from A to B. So that way you're gonna do a chakram attack and open the door. Like that. And then you can just match B here to get rid of this text. And keep going like this. Now this means you're gonna have chakrams here. So usually what I do is on this room, somewhere on this room. I usually do it before this barrier, but you can do it anywhere. I do a pause to do a tool war, and on this same pause I can do my recovery. Okay, and if you do it before the barrier, you can attempt to do the recovery in the barrier. You need a recovery before rammed out. It can be either on the barrier or on the little rammed out cutscene. You don't need both. You only need one. But basically, if you do it like this, you have 2 tries at the 6 to 10 frame trick of spelling cutscene. So that's how you do it. Now, what is the risk of this game? I mean, this trick. It has a very big risk here. So you can see my effect timer is 2800. And if we go here, you see it's 3300. So effect timer, this variable right here, will give you a sanity effect when it's 3600. Okay, so if I take too much time on this room, like this, I'm gonna take some extra time. That's a sanity effect. That's shrink player. Okay, I got it before killing this fucker. Then what this causes is it crashes the game here on this room, because the game is trying to give you a rune but also trigger a sanity effect, and that just crashes the game. Okay, so basically this can crash your game on chapter 4 if you get a bad sanity effect. This will only happen with effects that reset the room. For example, Shrink Player, Bloodbath, all things that reset the room. If you get Ed Cinematic, you are also fucked up. That one doesn't crash, but that one will give you the rune in your inventory, not in the rune page. And from there is a soft lock because you can use the rune. Okay. Now to avoid this, the only way to reliably avoid this, there is one backup, but it is just not consistent because it's basically RNG, is to kind of do a recovery somewhere. Like it could be after the last, like for example, if you're really slow at the beginning of your Kareem, then you know you're gonna get an effect before finishing the fight. Okay, like if you're really, really slow, or if you actually see one, for example, a volume effect or things like that, then you can gamble. Well, actually, if you see a volume effect, you know you're not gonna get another one. So in that case, you're safe. If you don't see anything and you're really slow, you can gamble for a recovery. So you will do the fight. 1, 2, so 2, anim cancel, 3, 1 on the front, and on this pause, again, this is if your early Kareem is very slow, and if you don't see any effect. you will do this and gamble for a recovery. And just cancel it. And so, if you're lucky, you might have an explosion here. And that will prevent a sanity effect. But you see here, I didn't get explosion. Well, because I haven't got a sanity effect yet. So that only works if you're really slow. The real consistent way for this is just not be slow. So you see here, when I start, the sanity effect timer doesn't advance during this cutscene. Okay, it's, you know, stable all the time. So what you want to look for is, you want to practice your movement on early Kareem, you know, good movement, good angles, good lines, or whatever you want to call those. And like attack doors at a proper distance, don't get caught by enemies, all those things, in such a way that you get your effect timer close to this number right here, okay? The range I got, more or less, so I was doing some stats. I was able to get like 2,779 or so. That's like a good one. And the latest one I got was like 2,842. Okay? So with like 2,842, you can still do this fight. Okay? And maybe even with 2,900, you can play around with it. Like try, you can actually modify this value on DME. Like let's put 2,900 and see how clutch your fight has to be with this number, you know? And then get a feeling of how fast your movement is when you get this timer, okay? Now, 2,800 is like a standard timing that you can get on a standard early Kareem. And with that, you get enough time, okay? But again, you got to be good on this fight too. Like with 2,900, it's probably very tight, I would say. I can try it anyways, but yeah, I don't think this will make it, but let's see, maybe. Just barely. Just barely. Now, I got lucky here. I got footstep trail, so that doesn't do anything. And then here. And you can try to do that on this one. If you don't get it, doesn't matter, because you can get it later on Ramdao. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. And this, let's see how much this saves, just to like to see the disregard of doing this, you know, because again, it can give you a soft look or crash. This saves 2 to 4 seconds. 4 seconds, actually. It saves 4 seconds. Okay, let's go to Ramdao fight for our next tutorial. I'm going to edit all this stuff for YouTube later, probably. I thought this version already is useful, just longer. Not quite. Okay. So, Advanced Ramdao fight is pretty much the same as the other one. There's just some details you need to think about, okay? And also, hang on. Yeah, so basically what this does, the idea here is that you're gonna do moving in cutscene with a no magic message at the end of the 3rd wave. So you're able to move during the 4th wave cutscene, okay? Now, the thing about this trick, it saves 1 second, okay? It's literally 1 second, so this is like super optimal shit. and it's really cool to do it. It feels great to get it, but it's one of those tricks that barely save any time, and you need to think on some stuff. So the real only part that is different, and this is more of a personal thing, is that you need to be conscious about your camera, because their movement will be different depending on what your camera is. Okay, so first phase and second phase look about the same, but you just don't want to mess up your camera. Okay, so we go here, we're gonna circle around this way and kill everything. And this last one, you see how I never go to the center. Okay, that's because I want this camera that is around the thingy. Okay, I think you can save more time if you run around blind to go both heads. What do you mean? Because I kind of do that. Or what exactly you mean? I'm gonna be back to this part. Don't worry. I want to check that. Might actually have a say stuff for that. No, I don't. It always seems like you wait until the end of the cutscene to go to Bone Thief's heads. No, I wait until they are active, because they are not active at the beginning of the cutscene. Only the blue zombie is active. So you need to wait until like half of the cutscene. Like here, they're not active. They're invincible. And actually, I think the blue zombie too. I can't even target them. There, I was able to target. That's the reason why it saves only 1 second. Like here, I'm attacking the Montif. Well, not quite, because I'm out of position. But, like... Oh no, where's my free camera? Oh, to cut the bone thieves. Oh, okay. Maybe I just misread that. Oh, maybe I do that. Never mind. I was misinterpreting that. Might be out of position here though. Yeah. Sucks. Now the thing is, like, because you cannot move so early, you cut this head. Like the cutscene is already over when you are on this head, or on this zombie, you know. You see, I cannot even target this guy. It's unburnable until like about half of the cutscene. So you need to wait. And this one also, when here is when they start to get active. There. On that part is when you do the first attack. So from here you can actually target. You kill one. And then you see you are like starting your attack more or less when the cutscene is already over. And I actually missed that one. Yeah, I remember that when you discovered this thing. And that's the reason why we actually thought this saved more, but then I retime it way later, and it just saves a second because of that, and plus the extra pause and all that. Alright, so let's go back. Okay, so we are here. So phase 1, you do phase 1 normally. You just remember to don't go at the middle because you're gonna get this camera. If you get this camera, you can go back this way and you're gonna recover your camera, the camera that I want. Because if you go the other way, like this, you're gonna get this different camera. I don't want this camera, okay? You don't want that camera. You wanna recover it like this. So kill the last one, watch a cutscene, that's the same. For Japanese, I'm watching this cutscene. I can do that because in Japanese this cutscene works. On US you need to watch the rats, which is this one, okay? So in this phase 2, run until here, more or less, for the first enemy, and do the same. Circle around, beware of your camera, don't get inside the other camera, and then watch another one. Then after watching this cutscene, you change to Ramdao. This way you save one scroll on the menu. So you equip Ramdao and we go for phase 3. So we run for this guy and then body attacks. Wait until it's active to target so you don't get an unintentional on-target attack. And then here we change the camera for the first time. So we get this central camera right here. And right after you do this attack on this Uyaoth, you're gonna do a recovery, okay? This is just to have a lot of health for the next of the chapter. And because you're waiting for the zombies anyways. And then what you have to do here is we need to get a no magic message before phase 4. And you have to do it on a specific place, which is around here, okay? So pay a lot of attention to this position right here. I cannot really like give you a lot of visual cues apart from telling you it's there. What I can help you with is it's like it's kind of in the middle of this square right here, you know, like looking towards the line on the middle of that part, but not quite in the middle. It's a little bit before the middle because that's more or less when where the next zombie is going to appear. Okay, so actually let's take a look at that here. You see, this is phase 4. So you see the zombies there. Now you want to be here, not completely in the middle, because otherwise the zombie will spawn on a slightly different place. If you are too much here, for example, you might be behind the zombie on phase 4. Let's see. Yeah, you see the spawn of the zombie got slightly modified. So you want to be looking at the zombie here. And your angle is a little bit important. You're still gonna target, but you kind of want to be looking at the zombie at this part, okay? So for me, the position that kind of works is this. So I usually start on this line, more or less. So I'm gonna walk towards the position I want, And while I'm walking towards that position, I'm gonna spam recovery so I get a no magic message. Okay, that way. So then I get the position that I want while I was walking and spamming my shortcut for recovery. And then as soon as you get this, you're gonna get rid of the no magic message during the cutscene, and then do a pause. The pause is to recover movement. So the no magic message allows you to do a pause, and you just unpause immediately, because now we have movement. You're free to move in like the room. You see I'm moving here, but the enemies are invincible during like half of the cutscene or so. So you can only attack this fucker when this turns around, more or less. It's a little bit before that, but basically that's when the hitboxes are active. So you need to practice your timing for that. So you either practice to react when the zombie moves, or a tiny bit before that. It's a timing thing. You're gonna do a overhead attack. So target up A to get rid of one zombie, and then you wanna walk to do the same on the other zombie. And for that, the angle, I'm gonna tell you what the angle is. Okay, so the angle for that to work, the perfect angle is right and a little bit down. Okay, now down right should work most of the time if you don't run that much. On the other one, you have to run a little bit more, but you should mess around with that. But between like right and down right, more or less, it's a very good angle for you because you're running out of camera. Remember that. And I don't know exactly how much you need to run. Maybe like a second, maybe less than a second. Can't really tell. But that's probably something you have to mess around on your own to get your own timing and stuff like that. But those angles are good to work with, okay? So right there. So you see, you hear when you hit the first zombie. If you hear it, that means you hit and you can go for the angle I just told you. And then the next hit is gonna land more or less when the cutscene is already over. Okay, and it's another overhead attack. And from there you go to the other bone thief to kill it with an overhead attack, and then go back to this one, and then kill this one. And if you did everything good, you might get an auto cancel here on the pillar. There you go. Just because the movement there, it's adjusted to give you that pretty much always. And from there you can pause here, chakrams, change this to Uyoth, and then finish in the bone thieves. And then the usual thing, go to the door, 1, 2, and cast. So that entire sequence saves 1 second. But when you get it, it feels really satisfying. It's really cool to get it. But yeah, it's like very optimal threads, I guess. Let's go for the next one. This one is the barrier. Let's see. Okay, before I do this one, I want to check something about my magic. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so you need probably more than half, although I think I got hit once. What's going on with the head of that zombie? Or I guess you can just react to it. How much do you have? That's more than half already. 17 might be enough. The barrier doesn't do magic damage, right? No. Whoa, not even that. How far I am? I'm 5 away. Okay, so it seems kind of unreliable to look at magic here. So I'm probably just gonna go for my other strat. Which means I need an extra... Just gonna get one safe state here. Okay, so that's kind of alright. Okay. I'm actually unsure. Whatever. Let's just go with this. Fuck it. Okay, so fighting in the barrier. We're gonna put the 75 and talk about that part later. Fighting behind the barrier. So fighting behind the barrier is an advanced trick. And this one saves more time. Let's see how much this one saves. This one saves 15 to 17 seconds. Which is kind of a lot. It's a lot of time, but it's a very risky strat. Like, you need good knowledge of the game for backups. And even with backups, it can be faster. And that's why it's always good to know all those. Like faster than not doing free cast. Okay? So the idea here, and also this fight is very like scripted. If you do everything you have to do, there's only one part that is a little bit RNG each. Everything else is very scripted. If you fucked up, it's your fault, which is good because that means you can practice. Okay? It's not just bullshit. So the first thing you want to do is, as soon as you get to the barrier fight, we're gonna set up a free enchant. Okay, so to do free enchants, because you cannot pause during enchants, you need to set up with a recovery. So you do a recovery. I'm gonna cast a recovery and then pause immediately. Okay, I casted a recovery, then free cast, and then as soon as I get rid of this pause, cast an enchant. Okay, so this enchant, I'm gonna be able to move during this enchant, and that will cancel the previous recovery. And then after that, you want to enter the trigger of the fight, okay? During the enchant. Match B to get rid of that. And now you're able to move. So the idea here is that we're going to attack these fuckers as soon as they are vulnerable. So it's after the cutscene ends. Actually, it might be a little bit before that. And we're gonna get behind the barrier. So you want to get here a position where you can attack all these zombies either at the same time or at least just doing 2 attacks, okay? Any of those is good. You can put yourself around here. So that was just 1 attack. You can actually see you can attack before the barrier spawns. Now, if you do it too early, like this, you might get 2 and then other 2. You have to react to do an extra attack. But always kill 4 of them, okay? Sometimes you're gonna also get like 3 and then 1, etc. But basically there's different timings. It's totally fine to do 2 attacks here instead of just 1. Then after you kill all of them, pause and watch a cutscene. If you're playing on English, you need to watch the rats cutscene. This one, okay? Then on pause, and we need to kill the Mantrog zombie that's still alive, the one that spawned after. And the most reliable way to do that, because we still have a lot of time for the other zombies to spawn, is to do an overhead attack. That prevents you accidentally hitting the barrier. Okay, so not like that. Wait for it. There you go. So that way, it's unlikely that you're gonna hit the barrier, because if you just try to do like a body attack or something, you might hit the barrier like that. Okay, so you have time here. You need to wait for these 2 zombies on the right to fully wake up. That's all the time you have to kill the zombie in the left. Okay, so you have your sweet time to just target there and kill it with an overhead attack. Then here you have to turn around, and here you have to do a neutral attack on target to kill these 2 zombies at the same time. And in such a way so you don't actually attack the barrier. So this angle is kind of good. And then you can kill these 2. This is, again, on target attack, so it attacks both. If your angle is kind of bad, you're gonna attack the barrier. And if you take too much, you're gonna attack the blue zombie, which is bad. These 2 zombies are vulnerable before the blue zombie. There's a timing thing here that you need to like manage, but basically try to practice different timings from when you can attack these 2 zombies. It's usually when they turn around, like that. You can do your attack and kill them before the blue zombie is active. And then as soon as you do that, another cutscene. Then here we're gonna do a body attack. This one is target on the blue zombie immediately. And then you're gonna run for the corner. Okay? So that was like too close to the barrier. So you can actually get closer to this fucker. like there. And then we're gonna run to the corner here. You run until Karim is invisible. And once Karim is invisible, you can run up left. Like for a little bit, for like a second or so. Or maybe 2 seconds, whatever. And you're gonna get to the corner. Usually 1 second is fine. So now I'm on the corner. As soon as you are in the corner, cast a recovery. Once your recovery is finished, keep walking on, you know, up and left. Just keep walking a little bit to gain more magic, to see if you can get enough magic for a second recovery, okay? If you see you don't get enough, actually there I got enough, but I cancel it. You can cast a talisman, but you need a second recovery here. It's mostly for safety. You can actually do it without it, but you should always cast 2 recoveries here, okay? If you want to be safe. So if you have a lot of magic, you can do it. If you see you don't have enough for another one, you can cast a talisman, okay? But actually there I was too slow. Let's do it again. So zombie, corner. No, up left. Right? Yeah, this is left. Or not? I'm confused. Why do you confuse me like that? Yeah, because I'm lefty. Yeah. Yeah, it's up left. It's this corner. This one. And sometimes that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Sometimes they still do damage. It's this corner. It's the farthest place, because this, I think you fall here. Yeah. So actually that's kind of important. Should pinpoint that. Yeah, there you go. So just enough time to do 2 recoveries here before they explode, because they're gonna do a lot of damage. And here you actually had to be cautious to don't go down, like down and left, for instance. Of the top left too. Oh yeah, yeah. So okay, so let's talk about that. So you see, I'm gonna show you before we continue with this fight. I'm gonna show you where I am. So you see, Karim is on this side of this part of the room. This side has collision. So this is the upright part that I was talking about, the angle upright. So you can keep walking here and you're not gonna fall off. But if you go like down, I mean up left, sorry, up left, and if you go down left, you can fall. There is no collision on this part. There you go, like Karim falls. So be wary of that. Now again, if you go up left, you should never fall, okay? So, these fuckers are likely to do damage on you. I don't think you can actually avoid this damage. You can get less damage and more damage sometimes if you're too close. But as soon as you get the damage, you can start walking to behind the barrier again, okay? So for that, you just walk to the right. Okay, and you need to adjust yourself a little bit. If you just walk to the right, you're gonna see Karim clipping here, and then you can react for movement to do this, or you can be a little bit more brave and go like right down, more or less. Yeah, that can be a little bit tricky though. I think just going right, it's fine. And you can react to when Karim is around there. So full right, Karim's gonna clip there. You're gonna see Karim. And when you see Karim, you need to get into this position. Here. Okay? So the zombie here in the middle, the one middle to the left, you want to get on front of that and prepare for a body attack, okay? Don't target just yet. This is the first zombie that is going to like be vulnerable. Because what we want is we want to activate all the zombies. So we're gonna attack the first one that is vulnerable here. That way we're gonna make it sing. And then, so this one is target body attack. Wait until it's active, then do the attack, okay? And then after that, you're gonna go to the zombie on the full right and do an on-target attack. Because that one is a bounty. You don't want to do a target attack because otherwise you're gonna kill it. We just want to knock it down, okay? So this is gonna look like this. Target, on target, okay? That's how it should look. It's totally fine to get damaged by the barrier there, as long as you damage this fucker. You need to knock it down like that, okay? Don't worry about the barrier damage. So let's do that again, and right after you do the on target on the bounty, you want to pause and watch a cutscene, okay? So that immediately pause, watch a cutscene. If you didn't use talisman, you're gonna be on the cutscene menu, by the way. So you can just match A. And then here comes the trickiest part. So now we gotta kill the horror. The horror, I'm gonna show you, it's gonna summon here. Let's see where it summons. There it is, okay? So it's gonna move you a little bit and all that. So the idea here is that you move Kareem a little bit, you change the angle, so Kareem can do a target head attack here for the horror and kill it on one shot. Now, here's a problem, a little problem. I'm talking a lot here. Because of how the horror is aligned and attacking the horror while it's doing this animation and all that, it's very likely that you won't kill every head if you target after the horror is active. Basically, do an actual target attack. What I find is better is to do an on-target attack, which is when you target you target no enemies. You just press R in the angle the horror will be, okay? And do an overhead attack there. A little bit before the horror fully appears. I know that sounds weird, but that usually works better for me. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around Kareem, set up for an overhead attack, and then do it as soon as the horror appears. There you go. So you see, sometimes you're gonna target the bounty, so you need to adjust more. Here, the horror actually died because I target like the vacuum, you know. But it was still a target attack, so it still does the full damage and all that. And for some reason, it kind of goes better. Maybe it damages more parts of the horror, I don't know. But this is the more tricky part, okay? Now, if you wait for the horror to fully summon and then target, it can still work. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just decides to don't work. Like, there it worked, okay? And that was an on-target one. On-target attack. You see, I actually cut the arm. Because you're doing damage to several body parts. So this is a part you definitely need to practice. Like, this is a hard part. Probably the hardest part. And as soon as you kill the horror, you watch a cutscene. Okay? So, before that, let me get some save states for backups later. So let's do that again, and we're gonna do the cutscene part. You actually have time for more attacks, but let's do a clean one. Now getting a clean one. There you go. So you kill it, you watch a cutscene. And then right after the cutscene, we're gonna do a no magic message. Okay? So the idea here is same as with the Ramdao fight, you walk down this time and match recovery. So you get a no magic message. Right after the unpause, okay? So unpause, walk down, only walk, so you don't advance that much, and match recovery. And you actually don't have a lot of magic here, so it's... Here I got it on the first one. You don't even need to match, but match anyways, okay? Then this message needs to be up until the cutscene starts going. Then during the cutscene, you can get rid of the message, but you don't want to pause, unpause just yet. Remember, pausing, unpausing after no magic message recovers movement, but not just your movement, but also the movement of the enemies. So if I unpause immediately, I'm gonna be in trouble here, okay? Because like I do this, everyone's moving, and I might get grabbed or something here. So instead, I'm gonna wait and not unpause until, let's say, the camera change maybe. Okay, so you can unpause before that actually. Like, I think I do it usually when the barrier goes. And then the idea is that you need to move to the trigger of the barrier fight to get rid of this cutscene. So to do that, if you have this camera, you need to move down, okay? There you're moving down. But when it changes to this camera, you actually need to move up, okay? To keep going, because it's a different camera. So you need to react to that. If you want a fully consistent, easy strat, you can pause, unpause when the camera fully changes. So here, and then just hold up. And it's not the optimal angle. I think there is a better angle. I don't remember if it is a little bit to the right or to the left. But just holding up, eventually Kareem will get this part, okay? Getting rid of the cutscene and allowing you to just react and go for this. That's like a fully safe setup, let's say. Now, yeah, it's... You can go up or like upright with this setup, okay? Like upright kind of works fine. No, actually, it's not that great. Let's see. I think right is better. I mean, up. Just up. Yeah, just up is kind of better. But you need to practice it. But the general idea is that with this camera, you go down. With the other camera, you go up. And the strat I do is unpause on the barrier. There, go a little bit down, and then go up. Like up on the stick. On the angle of your stick. Okay. That whole thing saves like 17 seconds. Okay? But that's not the end of it. There's more details because, again, advanced tutorial, advanced strats. So one detail that can happen to you, I cannot really show it because I still don't know how to trigger it, but it can happen. You might get massive lag at the beginning of the fight. Let's see if I have... Where is this? Okay. So... 1 second. I just want to show what I'm doing. So right here, you do the beginning. There you go. So there's a chance that here, right after the barriers spawns, you get some massive lag. Like super massive lag. You're gonna notice it immediately, okay? And sometimes you even like kill this fucker. Yeah, I killed this fucker too late. Sometimes you notice the lag after this cutscene too, because you were too fast on the attack or something. If you see the massive lag right here. The best way to get rid of it, actually the only way, but what I usually do is I kill this fucker to have time. Remember, we have a lot of time after killing this one. So overhead attack. That wasn't a great one, actually. I want an actual good overhead attack. Hang on. Yeah, let's do that part again. Okay. Okay, so you might see massive lag here. So to get rid of it, you kill the zombie with the massive lag. It's gonna take some bit, but it's just to make the next part more safe. You kill this zombie. Just like that. Once it's killed, you cast an enchant on your rundown. Okay? So we're gonna cast the enchant. And you see, we just have enough time. Now here, you're not gonna have a lot of time to turn around and attack these fuckers. You still have enough time, but not a lot. So just think about that. Like, be conscious of that. But there's still time. And what that does, the enchant gets rid of the lag. Okay? So that's basically what that is. Because if you do the entire fight with the lag, it's super slow. It sucks. Okay. Also, another thing you notice here, the blue, if you're too slow, the blue zombie might grab the Mantorok zombie. Okay. If you see that, we're gonna watch a cutscene. Okay, everything disappeared just fine, and then you are on this part. You know, this is the part where you do a normal damage to this one. It's kind of hard from this angle, but so that's just fine. You can still target the Mantorok zombie during the grab. Let's see. I want, okay. So during the grab, you can still target it and kill it, or you can wait for the blue zombie to kill it. But you don't want to watch the cutscene while the Mantorok zombie is being grabbed, because that's gonna mess your entire fight. You see, that just cancels the grab. Then this Mantorok zombie is here, and then all the other waves are gonna be desync with your strat. Remember, the fight is super scripted, but you need to follow the strat. Another possibility is that you kill it during the grab, but you watch a cutscene too fast. You don't wait for the body to fall. I don't know if this is fast enough. No, that's not fast enough. But basically, sometimes you can kill it, and if you don't wait for the legs to go down, you're gonna get a standing legs glitch, and the zombie's gonna be there. The legs are gonna be standing there, and it's also gonna mess your route, your strats. Okay, so watch out for that. Like, if you kill it this way, be sure that the zombie is falling, the legs are falling, and it's not grabbed anymore. Okay, and then the last thing is some backups for the horror fight. So on the wave of the horror, if you fail the horror, if you don't kill it on one shot, or on two shots, or on any shots, you have some backups. So I've done this on a lot of runs, but I guess I can explain it here. Basically, something that happens a lot is that you get a bad position and you just cannot target the horror. You start targeting other enemies. And so instead of panicking, what you can do is you can kill every single enemy to get a better target. You can also switch targets, but that's kind of hard in the situation. And the idea is that you're going to use a lot of animation cancels. And if you're running out of HP, you're going to do free recoveries. Okay? So let's try to simulate a panic situation. Let's say I failed that. Okay, I killed it. Okay, I'm just failed like a lot of stuff. I cannot target the horror. Everyone is tagging me. So every time you get attack, you know, you get a hit or something, you can animation cancel that like this, okay? After this, I'm gonna have full movement. Also, my HP sucks here. So I'm in real trouble. So I'm gonna cast a recovery. And I'm able to do that because it's right after an animation cancel. So it will cast immediately. And then, I might die here though, but you can free cast that. Okay? And then, if you see, okay, I'm gonna die, you can do another one. Although one got cancelled there. Let's do another anime cancel with another spell. Free cast that one too to get a double cast. Try to keep fighting. You see I recover HP. So my HP is better now. You can also do anime cancels after every attack, so you don't get delay of that. And I get another recovery there. And then, as soon as you kill the horror, you can watch a cutscene. So you see, it looked like I was going to die so many times. But thanks to animation cancels, you know, change your equipment, and the talisman over and over, you can actually keep going. Okay? And again, you have to free cast the thingy because you're gonna get damage and all that. You don't want that to get cancelled. So it's a lot of details. It's probably gonna be a super long video of the bear fight, but it is a very intricate fight. Thank you for the follow. So I'd rather have all those details and be like maybe an annoying video, but with all the details. Because it's advanced strats again. And that covers all of Kareem, pretty much. All the advanced shit for Kareem, making Kareem even an even harder than it already is. And I talk a lot. So I think I'm gonna finish here. Because my throat, it was too much. The majority did not explain how to pull out stuff. Super annoying, yeah. Yeah, I know. But yeah, that was cool. I'm gonna do more streams of this. There's still a lot of tricks, but I need to level them with something else, maybe Spelunky or something, because I actually talk a lot during this, and I just realize it now that my throat it's a little bit tired. I went to ham on it. Alright. So for that, for my safety and my health, we're gonna stop here. So, thank you everyone for watching again. I think I'm gonna modify that. Nice. And yeah, good night everyone. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be back, because I might maybe I'm gonna change my room on my house, but I don't know which day. I'm still not sure, and I need to do some adjustments for the internet cable, because I don't really want to stream with Wi-Fi. I think it's too unstable. My Wi-Fi is pretty good, but it's still kind of unstable, you know? So I'm not sure. Tomorrow, no stream, because I have a meeting. But yeah, expect more tutorials. And also, expect maybe Spelunky, but not the Spelunky you think I'm talking about. Another Spelunky, okay? Surprise. Maybe. One day. We'll see. Anyway, Bye bye, everyone.